If I ever get back to writing again, I can change it.
Would you? Would you really?
What name would you like?
Well, you won't laugh if I tell you.
No, cross my heart and hope to... Well, cross my heart.
I've always wanted to be named Glinda.
Glinda?
I worked on The Wizard of Oz.
You weren't...
I was the Wicked Witch of the West for a while, until I was scratched with the rewrites. I wasn't mean enough.
So you're telling me that when I rewrite, if I make a large enough character change, another group comes down and takes over?
Precisely.
Gee, that's like an actor getting replaced out of town.
It's so humiliating having to go back up, knowing that you've failed.
But it's not your fault. Sometimes we authors realize we've made a character too far one way or another, so we change it. You can't be blamed for that.
Well, that's a very nice thing to say. You're not as terrible as I thought you were. Now, do you think perhaps I could have a cup of tea? Or...
What's mine is yours.
I think I'm mellowing a bit. Do you suppose it's because I'm free?
Perhaps. I mean, how free are you exactly? Like, can you just leave here and go someplace else?
Oh, I don't think so. What would I do for money? Of course, if you'd made me an heiress and left wads of it in my suitcase. No, Addie would have found it and stolen it. Besides, this is where the mystery's set, so I best stay here.
So then what happens to you if I leave?
Well, you can't go anywhere.
Sure I can.
The phone's dead and the doors and windows won't work for you. No, dear boy, you are trapped here with the rest of us until we solve the mystery.
But there isn't any mystery.
Ah, but there will be. That's why you brought us here, wasn't it?
Well, yes, but I didn't expect you to come.
Well, then you shouldn't have invited us.
But I didn't know you existed.
Well, then you shouldn't be so rash with your thoughts.
When I think of what I could have thought of.
Now you're starting to sound like Harold Pinter. Oh, I get so confused working for him. I get a migraine and I'm out of commission for weeks.
You rang, sir?
He did it.
Did what matter?
Whatever was done, the butler did it.
Nothing's happened.
But when it does, he did it.
Did you have to have this same character, ladies? There are plenty of others to choose from.
I rather like Fiona Babcock.
Fiona. Oh,
He's so amazing.
You've had it this time, old girl. Fiona. You'll be the first one to get it.
You two must know each other.
We've worked together a few times. But Butlers is so passé. There's not much cause for your type anymore, is there?
I do very well in those historical biographies on public television.
Cogbert, Miss Babcock would enjoy a cup of tea. Would you mind?
Whether I mind or not is of no consequence, sir. It is my duty. And regardless of what I might think of her, I will fetch her the most delicious tea it is possible to brew.
There, that really was very kind of him now, wasn't it?
Well, he doesn't have a choice. He's a butler. He has to buttle. We can't throw off our traces all at once like a striptease artist peeling off her garments. You haven't got one of those yet, have you?
Is it too late to think one up?
Much. We must abide by the rules.
But I don't know them.
What you have wrought, we must not put asunder.
And now you're paraphrasing. Oh my God, it's another.
I'm sorry, sir. I just can't stop in tears.
Oh, don't cry, girl. It's your fault and you've got to live with it.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll put myself together in no time.
You must be Addie.
Can't you tell by my uniform? Ain't I what you expected?
Well, I thought of a maid, yes, so I guess you'll have to do.
You'll keep me on then? I'll hate to be sent back with the rewrites.
Of course I'll keep you on. But you have to change one thing.
I'll do anything to oblige your will. Anything at all.
Be careful, Mr. Knight. She uses sex with a band.
That one's Dennis. That's what she is. Now, what can I do for you?
It's your accent. You've got to drop it. We're in Vermont, in the United States of America.
Oh, that's a relief.
Didn't you read your instructions? I know you were late for the briefings, and I can imagine why.
She's always picking on me. I do my job the best I can. I haven't been in it as long as she has. She's been doing this since they carved mysteries on stone tablets.
Well, I wondered that.
Well, I'm glad you do, because it's true.
Look, can't we have a little peace between you two? This is all very confusing for me, and I need a little help to get through it.
Yes, Addie, keep your problems to yourself. Mr. Knight has enough on his mind. He just started on his stories when we showed up and surprised him.
No one's been killed yet.
No.
Well, I know who I hope the first one is.
It's usually the immoral maid.
Us poor servants, we get it so early on. I hope you have a cook here. I'm rotting in the kitchen.
Well, I was trying to keep the cast down, so I thought having the cook's arrival would be delayed.
By what?
I hadn't decided.
Shall I
No,
answer?
I'll get it. I thought you said the phone was dead.
You can't call out, but you can receive one.
Wish you'd given me a list of rules. Hello? Yes. Yes, it is. No, that's all right. I was expecting it. Now, would you mind telling me what... Hello? Hello? That was an employment agency. Cook's got ptomaine poisoning and won't be here.
Made your own cooking, no doubt.
So, who do you think will prepare the meals?
Do you suppose the butler cooks?
A butler? Is he young and handsome?
It's just your type.
Your tea, Miss Babcock.
Thank you.
Why didn't you make him young and handsome?
Well, I guess it never occurred to me. But I suppose all butlers were young at one time.
The young ones always get sent back with the rewrites. Now, I assume you know your duties, that you were late for the briefing because...
Already been through that.
Sorry, I hate repetition.
Now, I've never been free before. I mean, I've stuck to the story and had no leeway. Do I have to obey you?
You are the maid, aren't you?
Yes, but...
No buts about it. You do as I tell you. Now come along and help me prepare something edible for the guests.
Do I have to?
Would you mind?
Oh, come along, come along. Oh, you're not pregnant again, are you?
I always am! Every time I'm on a story, I'm pregnant, or that one throws me out and I get killed and run into a river. Maybe this time it might be different.
I sincerely trust not.
What did I tell you? Wanton. That girl is wanton and worthless.
Here I was, I thought you were mellowing.
Only around the edges, but certainly not towards her sort.
Well, maybe she'll quit. I'm not holding her here. As a matter of fact, I'm not holding any of you here.
Oh, just stop. Don't try and sidestep the issue, Mr. Knight. You brought us here, and just as we appeared, it was a cosmic something or other, and we materialized. Oh, I hate that word. Anyway, we're here now, so we'll have to stay till it's finished.
But how can it be finished if I didn't think of the end? Heck, I didn't even think of the middle. Only the beginning and an odd set of characters.
Well, odd we may be, but we've worked for better authors than you. I'd have you know that I was Shakespeare's nurse for Juliet. Think that one over.
Well, you didn't do a very good job. She killed herself, and now I think I know why.
A great, petty, and charming girl, the one who played Juliet. We still exchange Christmas cards.
You've got a post office up there?
As I recall, we have everything.
Well, how is Juliet?
I run into her from time to time, and she deplores the lack of writing today as I do. She keeps getting called down for those television series where she's mugged and raped and beaten senseless, and then saved after a commercial for detergent. Oh, give me the days of Shakespeare with a simple poison or knife, so civilized.
I'd hardly call Hamlet civilized with everyone bloodied up at the end.
But in iambic pentameter.
Anyway, look, Shakespeare's in public domain. He doesn't get royalties.
The royalty's so important.
Well, if you had to go out and earn a living, you'd know what I'm talking about.
Well, fortunately, my vocation provides room and board. And, I might add, fringe benefits.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Hospitalisation, for one. Though I never recall being that ill. Dead, yes, but ill, no.
So then you're content in that big library in the sky?
Why, Mr. Knight, are you applying for a position with us?
No, I don't think it's for me.
Well, you're an interesting type. I'm sure you'd get lots of calls.
I just don't want to be some other author's character.
It's pleasant work, not dangerous at all. Of course, you're frequently killed. And if they steal your body, you have to hang around for your funeral. Those are gruesome things. I don't like them at all.
So how did you start in this work?
Well, what came first, Mr. Knight, the chicken or the egg? Did authors put thoughts, characters into their heads, or were they there already? The riddle of the Sphinx. Oh dear, this really is appalling, isn't it?
Well, perhaps on your next call, you'll get imported wool, and you can make an Afghan.
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Peter, I'm very upset with you.
It seems everyone's upset with me.
Well, look who's here. I didn't know you were on call for this.
I'm here to bring some moral values to the situation.
But nothing immoral has happened.
It will, it always does.
Aren't you being a horse behind the cart, to coin a phrase?
You two must have worked together before.
Innumerable times. I'm called Lydia this time.
And this is Fiona Babcock.
Fiona?
I don't see what everyone finds so amusing.
Fiona Babcock? Oh, you've got a cropper this time.
A rose by any other name would still smell.
Look, I do hope you two will get along while you're here. I can't stand any fighting. Now that you're free, as you call it, there's no reason not to be friends.
Well, I'm civil to everyone.
Oh, I don't mind her. There's one in every book.
Well, if you don't mind, I think I'll go and knit elsewhere. There must be a den or a library. There always is in these old places.
It's just up to the left.
Thank you. And I presume I'll be called back before midnight? I won't inherit anything, of course. I never do.
Good would it do you? You're always the first or second to get murdered.
Well, I don't mind. The sooner I get back to Homer, the better.
Homer?
She lives with Homer.
Fiona Babcock?
How do you know that Homer is a cat? And he's been neutered.
Poor lady. She's never forgiven me for being called down by Somerset Maugham to play Sadie Thompson when I made that man at the clock commit suicide.
Was that you?
One of the few times I've played a woman who was poor.
Well, you're rich this time.
And that is precisely why I came down here. Do you know who's upstairs in my bedroom?
Well, I suppose it must be Jordan Dillingham.
Exactly. I go in to change, and I'm down to my slip, and he comes out of the bathroom rubbing scalp lotion on his head.
It wasn't my idea.
And he announces, "We're married again." Now, Peter, darling, couldn't you have been more original? Every time Jilly and I get married, it never works. He's an insufferable bore. And I find someone more attractive and younger.
But he's got loads of money.
That's why I'm constantly marrying him. 'Tis always thus. Why can't you authors get some original ideas?
There aren't any left.
Meaning get murdered. That's it, isn't it? He's the first one killed. Oh, thank you, Peter.
Well, I'm not sure.
Maybe at this very moment the electric heater dropped into the bathtub. That's what I did to him in the Postman always drinks twice.
You're way ahead of me. I hadn't decided who would get murdered first.
Then none of us knows what will happen. That's most unusual. Rather titillating, isn't it? I hope it isn't me. Oh, I like being able to
a change, not being hemmed in by a tiny brain. Not you, darling. I'm sure you're an excellent writer.
Well, I've always tried to be, but why should anyone get murdered? I hadn't planned them out.
You really are very naive. All of us here, and whoever else you invited, are all specialists in murder. Naturally, there will be a lot of killings, lights going out, and screams in the dark. You didn't start to write Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, did you?
No, I'm trying to write a fictional murder mystery based on the death of Norman Napier.
Sadist. That's what Norman was.
You worked for him.
In St. Moritz, he would ski half the day and write half the night. An avalanche of murder. He had me
Buried under the snow?
with a ski pole through my heart.
That was a good mystery.
Good or bad, it was damn cold. They didn't find me for 3 days. And to top it all, he dressed me in green. Don't I look better in blue, Peter? Tell me the truth.
You look magnificent in blue.
I know. Kay will wear blue, will she?
Yeah, she might.
Caught a glimpse of her in the hall upstairs. I suppose you had to have an ingenue.
Well, it's usual.
Couldn't you have thought up someone not quite so nice? I always have to hate her when we work together. It's difficult. She's such a sweet little thing. She's so young. Always so damn young.
She is nice, isn't she?
There, you see? Right away, you like her. Perhaps should we kill it off first? That would be a plot twist, wouldn't it?
Been done before.
Really?
In Laura, she was killed right at the beginning.
They only thought so, and she appeared anyway. I mean, really killed dead, permanently. Then I'd have the men to myself.
But why would anyone want to murder Kay?
Silly boy.
Now, who could that be?
Don't you know?
I've got no idea.
What is the unexpected guest? You must have one of those, a mysterious stranger who comes in out of the night.
I don't remember thinking of one.
Excuse me, sir. I must let in the unexpected guest.
You think that's who it is too?
Oh, naturally, sir. It would be most unexpected if there were no unexpected guests.
Why do you all know so much more than I do?
We've been doing this longer than you have.
Then tell me how it ends.
We only know each moment as it happens.
Sorry if I'm late. It isn't midnight, is it?
No, darling. You still have time.
Good. Beastly night there, isn't it? But then it always is when there's a will to be read.
May I?
Oh, thank you. Cogburn, is it?
That's right.
They told me he'd be called Cogburn this time. Oh, how do you do? You must be the unexpected guest.
Isn't that who you are?
No, I'm expected. I'm Dick Stanton.
You must have forgotten you had a juvenile.
I'm lucky if I can remember who I am. How do you do?
And you are?
Dick, this is our author.
Gee whiz, you're Peter Knight?
That's right.
Oh, it's great working for you. Never done it before.
Thank you.
Ah, and to be free, too. That's the greatest. Ooh, I'm not sure how to act.
You could try a little less hearty.
Can't think any other way, it seems. Ooh, never worked with you before either. But I have seen you around. You look great in blue.
Thank you. I am Lydia.
Ooh, that's a great name, too. And look at this room. It's great.
That's great.
I love working in gloomy old places. Never done one in Vermont before. In Maine once, on the coast. Say, why do they always have these old places on the coast?
So someone can be pushed off a cliff.
And authors can have all that description about waves breaking on the rocks and surf rolling over a body.
Well, this place has enough atmosphere for Frank Frankenstein.
Oh, let's not get into monsters, please. They give me goose flesh.
I don't mind them, actually. You might have seen some of my work. I was the lead in I Was a Teenage Werewolf.
Somehow get to that one.
Where's the ingenue? They told me she was named Kay. Ooh, it's a great name, all right.
She's upstairs unpacking. Maybe you won't like her.
No way. I have to like her. It's built into me.
And she has to like him.
You're darn right she does.
Dick! Dick Stanton!
Hey, it's you. I'm sorry I'm late.
I hoped you'd get here. The storm is terrible.
Oh, I was afraid the bridge would be washed out.
A washed-out bridge wouldn't have stopped him.
I swung across to get to you.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so frightened.
Of what?
I don't know, really. I always say that.
There's nothing to be frightened about.
I bet there is. We'll find out at midnight.
Aren't you going to leave us alone? It is customary for us to have a love scene.
Come on, Peter. Let's let them have their moment alone. It's a lot of foolishness. It doesn't change the plot at all. We'll need a Liz Babcock in the library.
No, I don't want to go.
This is the way it has to be.
We won't be long.
If my husband gets killed, then maybe we could have a mature love scene.
I'm so glad to see you.
You don't have to do that, Dick. We're alone now,
Can you think of a better time?
but we're free. We don't have to be in love.
Well, I know we're free, but I still love you, I think.
You're just used to it, that's all. You always love the damsel in distress.
And she always loves me.
And I do. I suppose I do.
Well, of course you do. Besides, if I wasn't here, who would save you at the end?
Maybe I won't need saving this time.
That's a stupid thing to say. You always need saving at the last moment, not a second sooner.
I wish one of you would show up early, and not just 10 seconds before the bomb goes off.
Well, I'm just not capable of getting there any quicker.
It makes me very nervous.
Oh, come along. Let's have our nice little love scene now.
No, let's wait until later. Until after the will is read.
I have never been turned down by the ingenue yet.
I'm not turning you down. I'm postponing you.
Oh. All right then. Have it your way. But I'll go and unpack then. Where do I go?
Upstairs. You must be the second on the right. It's very masculine looking.
Boy, I can't wait for the will to be read. That's always the most exciting part.
Not if you're the ingenue. That's when they set me up to be killed.
But I'll save you. Well, and I'll try to be early this time too. Boy, look at that gloomy hallway. This is great.
Oh, I'm alone. I shouldn't be left alone. The ingenue should never be left alone. There's a secret panel, and a gloved hand will come out, or a hooded figure, bent on my destruction. Peter! Peter!
I'm here.
Come quickly, please!
Kay, what is it?
Oh, Peter, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so frightened.
That's exactly what you said to your boyfriend.
It is, isn't it?
Word for word.
And now I've said it to you. That must mean something.
I think it does. Now, what are you frightened of?
I don't know. I was alone, and I shouldn't be left alone. The ingenue should never be left alone. It's always dangerous for me. Or they think up reasons for everyone leaving me alone, and then something horrifying happens.
It's all right now. I'm here.
Yes, you're here.
That wasn't at all unreal.
I shouldn't do that. I'm in love with Dick Stanton. That's the way it's written.
But you can do what you like now. You're free.
People always fall in love so quickly in stories, but it isn't that way in real life, is it?
It's never been that way for me.
You're in love with someone then?
I was once, but no more. She married a man that went into microchips before anyone knew what they were.
Was that good?
Well, for him and for her, but not for me. Now she lives in a penthouse overlooking East River.
Oh, Peter.
It's surprising how quickly I've recovered.
I'm glad.
You know, I wish we'd met somewhere else instead of here in the middle of this.
So do I.
We could go out on a date and catch a movie and...
Go to a little restaurant, you know. Chianti and red checkered tablecloths. It would become our place.
That's just what I was gonna say.
Authors always have an our place like that in their stories.
But I mean it. There's a McDonald's down on Route 7. Now, it doesn't have candles, but it's got...
Oh, Peter, it sounds heavenly.
And then after, we could come back here and sit in front of the fire, and...
No, Peter. Don't go on.
Why not?
I'm not the girl for you. I'm not real.
But you're here now.
For the moment. I'm like... What was that Scottish story I was in about the town?
Brigadoon?
Yes. It comes to life once every 100 years for a day. But I never come to life, Peter. Not really to your kind of life. Oh, an evening like this, maybe. Every now and then. But I'm never a really, truly live person. I'm always tied to my character.
Well, couldn't I rethink you and bring you back?
They might send someone else of my type. And anyway, there probably wouldn't be any lightning or cosmic thingamajig. And we wouldn't even be visible to you.
Oh, so we'll never have that date.
No, Peter. Never. Promise you won't go running about the moors calling for me like Heathcliff did for Kathy.
Well, there aren't any moors in Vermont, only fields. And they're covered with either cows or condominiums.
You are nice, Peter.
Pardon me, sir, but it is approaching the witching hour.
Well, it can't be midnight already,
A few minutes before, to be precise, sir.
but it's only late afternoon.
Time is different for you now, Peter. You must know that. You authors just write 3 hours later, or after dinner, that evening. And it is just that. So if Cogburn says it's almost midnight, then it's almost midnight.
We authors do play havoc with time, don't we?
Might I suggest that we gather the guests down here for the reading of the will?
If it must be,
It must be.
For once, I hope everything isn't left to me in some peculiar codicil.
Begging your pardon, sir, there's something that I've been longing to do for ages. And now that I am free, and my character restraints are loosening, might I have your permission to do it?
enjoy yourself, Cogburn.
Thank you, sir. Reading of the will down here! Let's get a move on!
Why, Cogburn!
Good Lord.
I found that most refreshing.
Well, I'm glad someone's happy.
Might I suggest that I serve the guests a libation, sir?
Brandy would be appropriate if we have any.
Oh, I will ascertain. Excuse me, sir.
Who would have thought he had that raucous behavior in him?
You know, it makes me wonder what emotions are repressed in the others.
May I ask what that call to arms was?
That was Cogburn requesting everyone's pleasure in here.
Well, I have never heard anything so crass in my whole life. I dropped 2 stitches.
He was just letting down his hair.
Is there no decorum left in this world? I appeal to you, Mr. Knight, to keep your characters under control.
I've lost control. You're free now.
Oh, but not free enough to behave that much out gallop.
You have no sense of humor.
And you have no sense of manners.
I must say, that was an announcement. I didn't think Cockburn had it in him.
We were all rather surprised.
I do hope somebody has given that butler his notice. But I do think that dignity should prevail on these occasions. Good evening, everyone. I am Jordan Dillingham, the lawyer. Mr. Stanton, nice to see you again.
It's great seeing you, sir.
Oh, and Kay, oh, I so look forward to working with you again.
I don't see why. Every time you read a will, I get plunged into mortal danger.
Billy, let go of the child's hand. You're old enough to be her grandfather.
Oh, my charming wife. We make such a beautiful couple, don't you think? She's as beautiful as all my money and 3 facelifts can make her.
Don't pay any attention to him. Senility is running rampant through every one of his varicose veins.
Ooh. When Lydia decides to step into old age gracefully, we shall retire to St. Petersburg and play shuffleboard. Miss Babcock, charmed.
Good evening, Mr. Dillingham.
I must say what your knitting lacks in style, it makes up for originality.
I didn't start this. It was here when I could like this when I got here.
I wasn't told what your first name would be this time. Is it Agatha, or Martha, or perhaps even the children again?
Never mind.
It's Fiona.
Fiona? Well, I must say it fits you like a glove. And you must be the unexpected guest.
No, I'm Peter Knight.
He's our author.
So you're the one who's responsible for all this.
Only part of it. I started it and...
We have to finish it. Shall we proceed? I have the will right here.
It's not midnight yet.
Ah, yes, you're right. Fiona, we must wait for the clock to strike.
Beg pardon, sir, but there's been a slight disaster which I have endeavored to overcome.
Yes, Cogbert?
It seems there is not an ample supply of brandy snifters or even cordial glasses.
I hate to pass these around. I'm so embarrassed.
Well, no, of course I would have brought some with me, but as it is, I've had to do my best with whatever containers I could find.
Well, if you've done your best, Cogbert, we can't ask for more.
And I did find a superior bottle of unopened cognac, sir.